Hello, hello, guys. Welcome to Live with Jacqueline Valdez. I'm super excited to be here today. So today we are talking to Latin Billboard charting artist, and we are talking about his songwriting, his producing, acting, modeling, his songs. You guys know him for Wine for Me. I'm so excited to have Mr. International Nova here. So welcome to the show.
Yes, how you doing? Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
yes. So
Um,
excited. Doing
I'm
well.
excited as well. I'm excited. Just got back from Puerto Rico. I'm so excited to be on the show with you. So, definitely thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Of course, of course. So how was Puerto Rico?
Oh man, it's amazing. I definitely want to give a huge thank you to everybody in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
It's funny because I went there a couple weeks ago to shoot a music video, and I loved it so much that I told my team we got to come back for vacation.
nice.
So a week later, we went back and we spent about 6 days in Vieques, and it was amazing. It's an amazing experience.
Wow, very cool. So you were doing a video out there. Tell me about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So I did a feature on a record for an artist called De Uno, and I kind of added my little flavor to it. And they called me and said, "Hey, we need to shoot this video in Puerto Rico." It's originally a hip hop record.
Okay.
And I came in there with my Latin stuff, and they were like, "Man, hold on! Like that gave it a whole different vibe. Now we got to shoot
Nice.
in Puerto Rico." So we was in Puerto Rico. We was in
Okay.
San Juan and Fajardo,
Wow.
and we shot the video and had an amazing time out there.
Whew, sounds like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was.
And now you're like back to a different reality.
Yeah, essentially, man. I came back with a little bit of a suntan, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's Puerto Rico's a whole different atmosphere. It's a whole different
Yeah.
type of living, especially in Vieques, because Vieques is more countries, more rural. Uh,
Okay.
and the people showed us so much love. It was an amazing time, and like even just waking up and seeing it was literally a million horses on the road up and down
Oh
the
my
road.
gosh.
So
Wow.
like that was different, but it was beautiful, man. It's an amazing place.
Wow. Wow. I have not been there. I need to go.
Yes, you definitely do, man. Shout out to everybody in Vieques. Shout out to we met some really cool people.
Nice.
A lot of people even coming off the plane and on the plane showed me so much love. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, very cool. I love that. Yeah, so many people have so much love for you right now, and you are just doing so many incredible things. Tell us a little bit about your background and your journey.
Yeah. So I come from Dominican descent. My family and my parents are from Dominican Republic.
Okay.
But I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York City, and I've been living in Atlanta now for the last 4.5 years or so.
Okay.
It's definitely a transition, right? Being a Bronx kid, a New York kid,
Yeah.
through and through, to then moving down to Atlanta,
Nice.
which is the place of trap music and hip hop, and being one of the only Latin artists down here, really making some noise. It's been different, man, but from day one, they showed me so much love, and I love Atlanta.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun there. I need to definitely make a trip again soon.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, have you always known that you wanted to be in the music industry and producing and writing and had this creative flair to you?
It's funny because I tell people all the time, growing up in the Bronx, it's like such a melting pot.
Yeah.
Of course, the Bronx is known for being the birthplace of hip hop.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like there's so many Latin people that live in the Bronx. There's so many, just different cultures, Jamaican cultures, and you get a kind of a mixture of a lot of different music.
Yeah.
So I knew very young that I loved music. Tupac, Me Against the World was what made me fall in love with hip hop as a kid.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
I never really took music serious as far as being an artist until I was like, in my late high school years.
Okay.
We were around Terror Squad at the time, which is one of the only Latin collectives in hip hop. Um,
Wow.
and somebody like Big Pun and Tony Sunshine, who's like a brother to me. Um,
Right.
Being around those guys gave me that hunger to be an artist.
Very
And
cool.
really, again, it was those type of guys, Tony and a couple of my other friends that said, you know what, you can do this.
Yeah.
And even though I was kind of hesitant at first, they kept pushing me, man. And I really owe a lot of my success to those guys that really believed in me in the very beginning.
That's very cool to have that background and support system and to have people that when you still aren't quite confident in your voice and who you are, to see the talent in you and to keep pushing you forward.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it goes to having a really strong foundation. of
Yeah.
people that believe in what you're doing, whether it's music, whether it's being a doctor, whatever it can be. Um,
Right.
it starts at the home base first,
Yeah.
and for me, family was a very big support unit, and my friends.
Very cool. Very cool. So, did you find that it was harder getting into the industry being Latin?
Yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, right? Like, if we're gonna be frank about it,
Yeah.
hip hop is not a genre of music that was very Latin influenced.
Yeah.
So in the very beginning, it was super hard,
Yeah.
but I think watching Terror Squad, watching Big Pun and what he did, gave us, and when I say us, gave us Latinos a voice in hip hop. It
Yeah.
definitely opened the door. It made it a little easier. Not that the doors are still wide open for us, but I think it made it easier to kind of have that dream.
Right.
And then from there, it's all about what you can do with it. Pun kind of, and I tell people all the time, Big Pun handed us the baton, but it's up to us individually, whether it be hip hop and even reggaeton, because I think reggaeton and Latin Afro in the US is different than what it is in the other countries, in the
Yeah.
Latino countries. So for artists here,
Yeah.
he opened the door. Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, those guys opened the door for Latin music to really flourish in the US. But it's up to each one of us to kind of take that baton and make it our own.
And I think that's why there's so much love for you and why I have so much respect for you is because you are taking that baton, you're sharing it, you're inspiring other Latinos, and you're using your platform and your voice.
I mean, that's a very big thing for me. It's is because I tell people all the time, whether I was able to reach one person or a million people,
Yeah.
my thinking is still the same thing, right? I'm still very appreciative of that one person or those million people.
Yeah.
But for me, it's beyond me. It's more than just me. It's for all those kids that came out of the Bronx with the same dream
Yeah.
that maybe didn't feel like they belonged in either culture. Me being from a mixed culture and a mixed family, it was hard, right? So for me, every little bit of success that I have, I try to give back to all those kids back home and all those kids around the world that had the same dream that I have.
Yeah.
Being Latino, being any ethnicity doesn't stop you from reaching your goals. I think that as long as you work hard and as long as you put in the effort and the work, anything is attainable.
Yeah, I love that so much. That's so true. And it's crazy that you say that because, I'm Latin, I'm Spanish, Italian, French, and Indian. And growing up, I was bullied for many, many years because I didn't fit in. I was too light to be, Spanish or Mexican, but I was too dark to be white. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate those unique qualities and really push my ethnicity.
So it's funny because I know a little bit of Italian, so molto bene, but yeah, it's 100% accurate, right? I
Yeah.
think that sometimes we place ourselves in boxes
Yeah.
due to society and limitations and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think again, it's up to each one of us to kind of break free of those stereotypes
Yes.
and really push for what we wanted. I mean, I'm a Dominican kid from the Bronx that in the beginning loved hip hop,
Yeah.
and I was a huge Tupac fan, and it's not something that's kind of the norm, right? I mean, for Latinos and for Dominicans, really coming out of New York, we're big on bachata,
Right.
and for me, I was like, no, I want to do hip hop.
Yeah.
It wasn't until these last couple of years that I transitioned into more of a Latin
Wow.
mix of my own batch of what I do,
Right.
but I really had to fall into that naturally,
Yeah.
and it wasn't forced. I wanted it to be authentic, and I wanted it to be me, 100% me. And I feel like I'm there now, and I feel like the response has been amazing.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to again just make it clear that I didn't follow any stereotypes. I didn't go for what was supposed to be for me. I went for what I loved and what my passion was.
Yes. And I love that. You're so authentic and you're so you and just, standing strong with your own path.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yes, you're welcome. That's why so many people are really being touched by you and really enjoying your music.
Yeah, I think that musicians and artists, right, and I think in the urban culture, whether it's reggaeton, hip hop, dancehall, whatever subgenre it is, I feel like we are we're role models, whether we want to be or not. We're role models, And I
Yeah.
feel like it's up to us to, in every sense of the word, to give back to our community and give back
Yeah.
to our people. And one of the things about me and my music and my platform is that I will always, always, to the very end of my career, make sure that I speak for those who don't have that voice. I'm very at peace with who I am and what I
Right.
bring to the table and what my power is and what my purpose is. And I really do feel like my purpose is to be the voice of those who don't have a voice in the Latin community. And for me, that's my job. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna keep doing it through my music, and hopefully, it's something that Tupac said, and it's I may not be the brain that sparks change, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that does.
Mm.
And for me, that's a huge thing in our community. I want to be that voice and that liaison between reggaeton and Afro and bachata and merengue and whatever else you want to call it, to hip hop and to the urban culture here in the U.S.
I love it because there's so many people that feel like they can't embrace that uniqueness. And
Yeah,
so to
yeah,
have a role model is just very inspiring, and to know that you can create your own path. You don't have to fit into a box, and you can be creative and do something unique and be authentic, and it's okay.
yeah. I think that we as people have gotten into a place that we're kind of scared to be ourselves,
Yeah.
right? I think that we rather go with what's working
Yeah.
and what's the norm.
Sadly. Yeah.
And sadly, that's why music is at the state that it is, right?
Yeah.
And in all genres. And I feel like uniqueness is what people buy into,
Yeah.
right? You being you and you being authentic is what people buy into. That's why people like Cardi B, who's also Dominican, but that's why people like her are always going to win, because she's apologetically her,
Yeah.
excuse me, and she's not going to change,
Yeah.
right? She's going to be her. She's going to be authentic to who she is, or it's authentic to what her family raised her
Yeah.
and to be. And I feel like I'm the same way. I'm from the Bronx. I will always be from the Bronx. I'm a Spanish kid from the Bronx that just had a dream and was lucky enough to reach certain goals that I thought I would never attain. But that doesn't mean I'm going to change who I
Right.
am and who my family raised me to be.
How did you stay so strong in your intentions and who you are? Did you find that the industry was trying to change you or was suggesting changes?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the music industry for a long time, right, dictated who the artist was and the sound of music.
Yeah.
And even for me, right, because in the very beginning, everybody who knows my history knows I started in a group. I was in a group called Street Corner.
Right.
And we were lucky that our first few songs, literally our first 3 or 4 songs, were huge hits overseas. And
Right.
that's how we started our growth. But even back then, um, people were like asking me, so, hey, do you do Latin music too? And it was like, yeah, but no, because this is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I kind of rebelled against it because I felt like
Wow.
me being a Latin in hip hop, that's what they wanted us to do.
Yeah.
They wanted me to do reggaeton, and if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it my own way.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like people stopped asking me for it that I said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do it now, because now it's coming from me. Now it's authentically who I want to be,
I love
and
it.
not who I want to be, who I am, because that's who I am.
Right.
But I never want to be cornered or pressured into doing something that it's not me at that time, or I don't feel like it's what I want to do currently.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like it shows. I feel like when people are not truly authentic and truly into their creative tappings, then it just doesn't come off the same sincerity, and it's just not appreciated.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think being true to your authentic self is
Yeah.
very important. And I
Yeah.
feel like nowadays, because of social media, I think back in the day, right, before Instagram and
Yeah.
we were younger kids, it was different, right? Because you saw people on TV and that's all you saw. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, Tupac, oh my God, Big Pun, oh my God, DMX, who we're sending prayers out to at the moment. But you see all these people and you're like, oh wow, that's so cool. But you don't really see who they are as a person because all you see is the TV side. And I think social media changed that. And I think that's what also kind of leveled the playing field for independent artists,
Yeah.
with the major artists, is that now you can see who these people are as people.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays fans and supporters support your music based on who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, you know, there's a good and bad to that, because I think artists who don't have such good music kind of get away with it because people like them as a person,
Right.
who their persona is. But I think ultimately, that's what sets you apart, right? Are people going to gravitate to who Miss Jacqueline is, and who International Nova is, and who Cardi is,
Yeah.
versus who the label wants you to be and who the label portrays you to be on TV? And I think that's what social media has done, good and bad. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's definitely leveled the playing field. I feel like people are now able to gravitate to who Nova is as a person.
Yeah.
Whether I'm walking my dogs, whether I'm in the studio, whether I'm renovating my house, you know, you see all these different facets of who Nova is, and you either buy into it or you don't.
Right. True. True. So, as far as different hats that you wear, you also do producing and acting and modeling.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, a little bit of all. I love it.
Yeah, you know, I'm a studio rat. You know, and in all different genres, right? I love music. So whether it's Latino music, whether it's hip hop, whether it's dancehall, R&B, I love all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I've always been a studio rat. And being around people like, again, Tony and Music Soul Child and all these different amazing R&B artists, I fell in love with R&B. And I
Mm.
kind of started dabbling into producing and production and songwriting and vocal arrangements. And I really started building up my name as a producer and a engineer as I was building up my artist name. And you know, when things wasn't moving on the artist side, I kind of focused more on the production side, or vice versa. And it's gotten to the point now where kind of both are in demand for me. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. The acting thing is something that I've always wanted to get super deep into. Unfortunately, my career was kind of taken off at different points. And
Yeah.
it was like when I had time to kind of focus on acting, something took off in music for me and I had to go back into music.
Yeah.
But now I'm at a place where I can kind of do both.
Nice.
And I love acting. Like, I really do love acting. I would love to get more into it. My first big project was the Tupac movie, All Eyes on Me. And that was really due to Hussein Fatal, God rest his soul, who was one of the people who pointed me in the direction of that movie. He was Tupac's artist. He was part of Tupac's group. I was able to work with him on my first album, and he was like a huge music idol of mine. And he was the one who opened that door for me. And I was really supposed to be on set as a extra for like a couple days or a day or
Right.
two. Ended up being on set for 2.5 weeks. They kept just expanding me and what I was doing. And, you know, it wasn't like I was a star in the movie, but it was definitely a great learning experience.
Yeah.
And then from there, the love and hip hop stuff and all that other stuff was great kind of things to add on to my resume. But I am waiting for that first big role. And we got some things on the table now that's exciting that I can't really speak on as of yet. But yeah, you guys are definitely going to see me on TV and on the big screen, hopefully very soon.
Ooh, exciting. Yes. And you have such a great voice and such great charisma that you would be a wonderful actor. Is there a certain role that you would really want to play?
Honestly, you know, it's funny because people think I'm funny. I don't think I am funny at all. But I would love to kind of tap into that, because I feel like with acting, a true actor can tap into something that's the opposite of who that person is in real life. You know, I can do the urban stuff. I can do the angry, the cool, laid back ladies guy. I can do all that because those are different facets of who I am as a person.
Right.
But I feel like something that would be super competitive for me to do would be comedy. Like a pretty cool like comedy, love comedy movie, something like that. I think would be super dope to do and super interesting to do, because again, I don't think I'm funny, but people and friends always think I'm hilarious. So I think that'll be something cool.
I love it. I love that you want to challenge yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So how long does it take you to write songs and stuff?
Oh, I'm pretty quick with records. You know, anywhere from a couple of minutes to, you know, I mean, if we go back to Controller, I wrote that record in about 15-20 minutes.
Wow.
You know, most of my records are pretty quick. Even my production, when I'm doing beats and things like that, 15-20 minutes, I'm done with a record. You know, another 10 to 20 minutes, I'm done writing the record. I really spend more time tweaking things when it comes to mixing and engineering, because I'm a Virgo, so I'm a perfectionist.
Me too.
Yeah. So it's like once I do the vocals, now I'm spending some real time just getting everything to line up perfectly and things like that. But songwriting, recording, all that stuff is pretty quick for me.
I love that so much. I'm a Virgo too, and I'm the same way when it comes to dancing.
Yes,
When
Virgo
I
King.
create, yeah, I'll choreograph stuff and then I'll go back to it and I work on perfecting everything.
Yeah, and I think that's just who we
Yeah.
are as people, right? We're perfectionists. We're very specific to detail. And I think that I've been like that from day one. I think I'm always going to be like that. And sometimes I have to stop myself. Like sometimes I have to be like, okay, this is done. Even though I want to go back to it the next day, I'm like, nah, I'm just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Me too. I totally understand. So what advice would you give someone who is doing like all these different roles, how to manage it?
Don't cheat the game, right? Don't cheat the process. I think that a lot of times as artists, we want that quick overnight type of answer, right? And type of success.
Yeah.
But don't cheat the process. I think that the best part of this industry is the road to becoming who you're supposed to become. You know, the tough days, the tough nights. I've kind of got myself in a position where I don't get too happy for the good things and I don't get too sad for the bad things. Because I know in this industry things change on a day in and day out basis. So don't cheat the process, you know, put the work in, you know, and you'll definitely be rewarded. And I think that as long as you kind of keep those two things in mind, you know, the sky's the limit.
I love it so much. I'm going to have to remember that. Because Leslie actually was telling me I'm in this contest for this yoga challenge. And she was like, don't be too sad. Don't be too happy. If you know, just enjoy it and just go with the moment.
And I think for, you know, as Virgos, because we're so used to having a plan A, B, C, and D.
Yes.
Even F at some point, that we're so kind of stuck into and having tunnel vision, right? And I think that sometimes we kind of lose the progress that we made. And I tell people that all the time. Like sometimes I have to kind of take a step back, be like, wow, I really did all this. Because we're so focused and so goal oriented that we kind of lose sight of all the things that we have done.
Yes.
And only focusing on that one thing that we haven't.
Yes. I am so inspired by you, and I'm going to remember that in the back of my head. And I'm going to be like, okay, Jackie, step back.
Yeah. You know, take the time to really acknowledge that you've got some progression that has happened, right? And again, I think that nothing comes overnight. Nothing is going to be perfect. But that's something that I work on day in and day out, you know, because this industry is so tricky.
Yeah.
Don't get too happy for the good times and don't get too sad for the bad times, because both of those things are going to happen continuously and sometimes simultaneously.
That's true. Enjoy the journey. I love it. So you have some exciting stuff coming up. What can you share with us that you do have coming up?
Yeah, so right now, like I said, I was just in Puerto Rico. We shot a music video for an amazing record that I'm featured on. I'm actually also doing a part of a reality show that's based on Latinos in the music industry, with some dope people, Stevie Nunez, myself, Mariah Lynn, some other people as well that are part of this project. We're currently filming. So I can't give too much details on what's going on and things like that, but just know that it's definitely putting the Latino culture on a positive spin when it comes to this industry, showing the ups and downs. You know, it's reality TV, so we know what goes with that. But for the most part, it's very positive oriented. Aside from that, you know, my album is done. It's finished. So I'm excited about that. Definitely want to give a huge shout out to Gabe Acosta, who produced 95% of this album, and really, you know, just shooting some visuals and getting these videos ready and dropping some new records. I think right now we're looking at May 5th or sometime in early May as the next single.
Nice.
Called All the Way. It's an amazing it's a mood record. Like it's a vibe, and I think that my whole album is a vibe. I think if people loved Controller or liked Controller, I think you're gonna love the album. It's super cool, super dope. And it's a good time. And outside of that, you know, there's so many things that's kind of like coming in on a daily basis.
I love it.
Honestly, since the 1st of January, it's really been off the hook on phone calls and emails and opportunities coming in. So I'm very blessed. Like I'm very happy. I'm very excited. But above all, I'm very blessed. And, you know, I'm definitely not taking any of those things for granted.
And I love that now that you are really finding your voice and you're really authentic and you're just being really open, how things are manifesting for you and just really opening up.
Manifestation is real. You know, those vision boards, those things are real. I have a couple of them in here in my room somewhere, that I've done over the years. And it's funny because some of those things that I put on that vision board have either happened or are happening as we speak.
Yeah.
So manifestation is real. Positive energy is definitely real. Karma, aura, whatever you want to call it, all those things
Yes.
are real. I believe in those things, and I think that when you put good forward and you give good out, you get good back, and that's how I live my life.
Yes, I completely 100% agree. I believe in manifestation, good energy, positive energy. Everyone send it out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Was there anything else that you wanted to share with the viewers?
Oh man, just you know, I appreciate every one of you guys, everyone that supports what I'm doing, anyone that supports our culture. You
Yeah.
know, I'm very appreciative of. You know, we need more people in this industry like us, like you and me, that are supportive of each other and not looking to tear the next person down. So, you know, I appreciate all the love that everybody has shown, from the fans to the DJs to people like you, who without you guys, we don't have a voice, right? We have music that nobody can listen to without you guys. So I'm very appreciative of you and your platform, Leslie and her team, and the entire International Nova team. I'm just very appreciative of everybody who believes in what I'm doing and believes in the International Nova brand.
And I love that you said that we can support one another. I feel like that's so huge, is for artists to support one another and everyone to lift each other up.
Yeah, this industry is a huge industry, right? And I feel like there's no reason for us to be cutthroat
Yes.
on our own people and on anybody, to be honest. But
Yeah.
there's enough room for everybody in here. People are always surprised when I kind of take other people with open arms and other artists, and I'm like, why? Like, there's we can all win.
Yeah.
And in reality, you know, that's what I'm about, is winning and helping others achieve that success. Again, I never thought I would be here. I never thought I would be this International Nova. This was all a dream.
No.
I was lucky, and I was also blessed, and I want to pass that along to other people.
Yeah. And when you do uplift other people, it lifts you up. And I feel like it's just a whole domino effect. And it's like this ripple that's just awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's no reason to stop others from also experiencing the same success that you have.
Yes.
I think it's the opposite. I think that actually makes your reach stronger and your purpose stronger.
Yes, I love that. How would you suggest to someone that is trying to find their authentic self, but they don't even really know how to get there, or they feel like they might be influenced by, the industry, or they don't have family to support them?
Search inside of you. I think that when we try to find happiness through somebody else, I think that we lose sight of who we are as people, right? And when you depend on somebody else for gratification, for purpose, I think that kind of stunts your growth,
Yeah.
spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. You know, it's a lot of weight to carry, and I think that sometimes you have to look inside of yourself to find that purpose, find that strength. And then, the cosigns are great. But, I tell people all the time, I before I got my first yes, I got a million no's.
Yeah.
And now those no's are turning into yeses for me.
Yeah.
So, those things always turn around. It always comes back. Again, don't get too happy with the good times, and don't get too sad with the bad times. Find your place somewhere in the middle, and then that's going to put you in the right path for longevity.
Yeah, I love it. And I love that you kept following your dream and just kept the hustle up. And it's just now you're a huge inspiration to so many people.
I appreciate that, man. Again, I'm just a kid from the Bronx with a dream, that's been able to achieve a lot of things that I never thought possible. And it's all because of music. It's all because of me having a voice that people gravitate towards. And, again, it's my purpose to pass that forward.
Yeah. Was there anyone you wanted to do a special shout out to?
Well, definitely you for having me again. I definitely appreciate you for having me on your platform. It's an amazing platform. I think that you're helping not only our people, but people around the world have a voice. And again, without you and people like you, we're just artists that nobody knows about, right? So definitely you. Again, as always, my fans, you guys are the reason why I do this. And of course, Team International Nova, Leslie, Upscale PR. everybody that's behind what I'm doing, believes in what I'm doing. Again, I'm nothing without my team. So
Oh, and I love how humble you are, and you're just so genuine.
again, I appreciate that. You know, it's
Yeah.
Mama Nova. Shout out to Mama Nova, because Mama Nova is the reason why I am who I am, and how I am. You know, so yeah, gotta shout her out.
Oh, she's got to be so proud of you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I love it. What is it that you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for being a voice for those who don't have a voice. You know, that to me is the true definition of legacy. You know, music stuff is great. It's amazing. I love music. That's who I am. I bleed music. But one day I won't be able to do this anymore. You know, so what measures my legacy is what I did for others, and what I left behind. So for me, that's my end goal. You know, to help others achieve, and spark that brain that hopefully will change the world somehow, some way.
Oh, and you already are doing that. You're such a huge inspiration, and you're such a voice for so many people.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It has been so much fun and such a pleasure today.
Well, again, thank you for having me. You know, you have an amazing platform. You're doing a lot for not only Latinos in general, but people around the world, man. I think that, once again, social media is king in networking and connecting people from different walks of life. So thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it has been such an honor and such a pleasure.
Nah, pleasure's all mine. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you.
We'll have to do it again, and maybe next
Yeah.
time have you sing.
Listen, I'm here. Let's do it. You know, we're actually planning some things as far as like listening events and parties and things like that.
Okay.
Hopefully, whether we do it virtually or physically, you know, you can come through, and hang out with us and have fun with us, and you know, just enjoy a good time.
Yes, that'll be so much fun. And I'll have your information posted once the interview goes live, so that way they can find you and follow you.
Yes, yes. International Nova on all social media. International NOVA. You know, I always follow back my fans. I always respond back. You know, just hit me up, man. I'm here, guys.
I love it. Thank you so much for today. It has been such a pleasure. Thank you for illuminating the world with your presence.
No, thank you. Again, the pleasure's all mine.
Take care. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching Live with Jacqueline Valdez, illuminating the world one voice at a time. Thank you, guys. Lots of love and light.